Hello there, and welcome to yet another edition of WTF. What the flip, what the French toast, what the frack, whatever you want to call it. It's what the podcast that goes into reaction videos and gives you my 15 cents, give or take a few, as to what I feel about it. Before we get started, let's go over the view of five. Five, which is simply like, comment, subscribe, notify, share. 5 separate actions that maximize the YouTube algorithm, which brings our stuff to more people and hopefully makes more lives better. And also, it's been said before, but will be said again, coming soon to the channel will be super chats and things like that, and donations. So if you really want to rock with the show and show that you care and show you support, consider donations. There will be links in the description of where different places you can go and donate. Every little bit helps. $1 helps. So whatever you feel that you can give, please do so. And that being said, let's get on to today's topic, which is Auntie Jenny tells her stuff. Otherwise known as Auntie Jenny Goes Wild. Auntie Jenny tells it like it is. Whatever you want to call it, she goes there. And this particular video that we are going to discuss is almost 4 hours in length, 3 hours and 59 minutes and some change. And she goes all over the place. And she goes in. Both fists pumping. She's laying hands on people. She's taking no prisoners. She is a welcome breath of fresh air. Because there are so many people in this space that tend to tiptoe. Walking on eggshells. They sugarcoat things. No such thing with her. She sees it. She calls it. Let the chips fall where they may. So now, let's get into the video, and our first stop, we were about the 14-minute, 50-second mark. Let's see what she has to say.
Hey, someone's giving away free funny, refuse it. Don't care how good it's dressed up. Because look at Esther. She might look good walking down the street, and by the time she takes off her nails, her makeup, her hair,
she don't even look good though, and it's not.
Okay, for proper context, for the first 15 minutes, give or take a few seconds or so of this video, she's going in on Esther. And for proper context, Esther was on the 100th episode of the pregame, and she said that both Auntie Jenny and Pearl were harassing her, this, that, and the other thing. I saw the video. I may or may not do a video on it, depending upon how I feel, because at this point in time, it is what it is. And she's saying that she's been belittled and made fun of, this, that, and the other thing. Watch it yourself. And then tell me what you think. Leave it in the comments below. And if enough of you people ask for it, then I guess we will have to do a deep dive in on it, because the level of stupidity, tomfoolery, and downright disrespect is epic. No one, and I mean no one, should have to deal with what Pearl and company had to deal with. Now also in context, all this happened during the Andrew Tate interview, which was also part of the 100th episode of the pregame. And there were a couple of times where she sought to dominate the conversation, in that Pearl would try and interject something and she'd just keep right on talking. And once again, this goes back to how to survive a podcast. She didn't survive the podcast. She'll blame other people for it, But she didn't. But that's neither here nor there. Getting back to the topic, Auntie Jenny went ham on her. And that goes to a point I wanted to make regarding appearances. Women in general, and men in particular, are not too thrilled about the state of modern women today. And that is because at the very top of any man's list is appearances. And women, more and more these days, women in general and black women in particular, aren't representing themselves very well. Fake eyelashes, fake hair, fake chest, fake butt, you name it. If it can be augmented, they'll augment it. All in the vain attempt to look good. And the thing is that as far as I'm concerned, I would never date one of them because I don't know what's real. You see so many girls running around with hair down to their butts. Now, if you let your hair grow that way from when you were a child and you never cut it, there's a very good possibility it could get that long. Very good possibility. Probability? I don't know. It could go either way. But the possibility is there it could get that long. You can't go out or go home on a Friday with your hair halfway down your neck and come in on Monday with your hair down to your butt and instead of trying to tell people it's real. It's not. When you have eyelashes that when flooded could cool an auditorium, what is that? That's not real. All these beauty standards that women in particular and black women in general, I should say, and black women in particular like to gravitate toward and like to hold on to, don't mean a whole heck of a lot to men in general. Are there some that love it? Yes. Abso-freaking-lutely. There are men, I keep saying women. There are men who will gravitate toward it, who will date it, who will wife it up, everything like that. But then that goes against the main thrust of what I'm saying and what they're saying, is that women who present themselves that way will get into a lot of trouble later because they're showing a level of genetics that they will never be able to pass on to their progeny because it's not theirs. If you're dating a girl with hair down to her butt, will she pass that on to her, through her genes to her offspring? No, because her hair isn't that long. Now, when you date a man who's got a bald head, or very, very close-shaped head, like I do, will that translate? It could, because you don't know how long how long the man's hair is. And so any growth of hair that a child shows beyond what the father has, it will be a bonus. But once again, it comes down to genetics. What you're going to pass on to your offspring. When a woman goes home with a man and they're going to sleep, and she takes off her eyelashes, she takes off her wig, she takes off her weave, She takes off her butt because you can't get a BBL, but there are some people who get off like a fake butt, one that you put into your pants that augments what you already have. I'd be like, what the hell? No, man, no. You got to go. You are not what I thought you were. You got to go. And can you blame them? Can you blame people for running to the hills when they see what they see? Anyways, back to the video.
Not even about the way she looks, her energy.
And a dry, crafty foot.
Yeah, so let's take away from aesthetics for the moment because
She ain't got no brain.
yeah. So let's.
She's the most stupid, educated person that we know.
Yeah. So
Because some people say, "Oh, I got 3 degrees."
Going all in,
You might
going
have
all
3 degrees,
in.
But that mean you got a brain.
well, for someone with 3 degrees to say that she realizes the error of her ways or religion ways when she went to experience the freedoms in China. Of all countries, China. When you start talking about how oppressed we are in this country, and then you say what country has, the epitome of freedom for you, and you mention China, I can't even take you seriously because it's just letting us know what level you are, and I have to.
Ignore that. That's
Yeah.
just somebody coming.
Yeah. I like. You have to be very.
Okay, the doorbell, whatever that noise is, threw him off, which is understandable because you're trying to convey a point, and then that thing suddenly blares, and you're like, "What the heck?" And then you lose your train of thought. Going back to what I was saying originally, aesthetics will be what gets you in the door. Your outward appearance, what you look like. It can go a long way into determining how far in that door you get. And it's also subjective. One man's pretty, maybe another man's maybe another man's ugly. It is what it is. And your mileage may vary. Getting back to the topic.
See, when people say they got 3 degrees and they're educated and they talk about this level of education, sometimes you're so smart that you're actually dumb, because
Degrees are easier to get than common sense.
thank you so much, because it's not common sense. So when you have a woman talking about basically denouncing her religion, basically talking about all the different ways, and then when you simply just point out a few things in what she's saying, just to challenge it, just to they get ultimately triggered by it.
Now, you know, I'm going to say and be a bitch. I'm going to ask the 2 ladies something. Sorry to cut you, but can I ask you one question? If I asked you, what is a woman, what would you say? Ignore that. Somebody's coming up. What would you say?
Someone born a woman.
Okay, what would you say?
A blessing.
You say, if I said to you, tell me what a woman is.
A woman is a blessing.
Right. Well, she says, I don't know. It can't be about biology. It's got to be more than that. I think that being a woman should be about whoever wants to be a woman. If you feel like being a woman, you can be a woman.
That is incredibly stupid, yet incredibly accurate. Because that's what she was talking about. The question posted was, what is a woman? And the question was asked so that it would start a conversation on exactly what a woman is, what men view women are, how women view themselves, where the similarities are, where the differences are, and how can we go forward with one standard. And to sit there and say, I don't know. What are you? Are you not a woman? What makes you you? And for general purposes of this conversation, a woman is a human being with an XY chromosome. Period. That is the standard definition of woman. Everything else is a plus. everything else. The baseline for a woman in modern society, period, from the dawn of time, is a human being that is born into this world with an XY chromosome. A man is someone with an XX chromosome. That's it. That's a biological man and a biological woman. Everything else you could think of, everything else is superfluous. It's a plus. It's adding on to what's already there. But let's get back to the topic.
And then she got upset because people were calling her delusional. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I was just about to say, like, isn't that kind of buying into a delusion? Because, you know, where does this lead to? I could say next that I want to be, you know, the lamppost or whatever. It's.
But
you
this
know, where
is the
does it
same
end?
woman that said that women are changing for men, but men won't change for women. And her view of women changing for men was plastic surgery.
Men actually like natural more than made up.
Thank you.
Like, I don't know why women think they need to. That's their own insecurities.
You see, she's wearing brown, but she's nothing like Esther. So this is going to be nobody. Anytime somebody comes and they're wearing brown, do not bring up Esther. The girl's got a brain.
Auntie Jenny, I just want to just say, like, we had to clap. We clapped in unison because when we come on here,
I just realised that.
yeah, we never know what types of women we're going to encounter. We never know.
Because people think that this is planned. I invited him because it was my birthday. He didn't know. He came, but you thought, and they just think that sometimes we plan it, and you can see that they're not all black. Because sometimes they say, "Oh, how come they're all black people?" I don't know who's going to come. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, and I don't know who you are. I just meet you, and I'm just the way I am. But people seem to think that we plan it.
That's another point that needs to be made. On these videos, whether it be Auntie Jenny, whether it be King Riches, be Sarah Garvey, or Pearl, and that's just from the Just Pearly Things podcasting world. You don't know until the last minute who you're going to have on the show at any given time. So for those people who sit there and say, well, it seems to be black people, that's who they got on the day. Tomorrow it could be all white. The next day it could be mixed. You just don't know. But that's the people that they're talking to, because that's the people who are brave enough to go on the show and to speak their viewpoints. It has nothing to do with us being catered to a black audience, because the host isn't black. On this particular case, Auntie Jenny is black, so yes, it is. But when Pearl's there, it's a white woman. And the views that they're espousing are red pill because they tend to be conservative. Red pill is conservative. Blue pill is liberal. And purple pill is independence in the middle. It's centrist. But I digress.
So for you to come on there and say that, that's why I had to give you a hands up, because we've just met you and you got a brain. You just proved it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Auntie Jenny, I just want back to say, so like I was talking about this, and I've got a video that's going out now about natural and why men. We've spoken about this so many different times about how it's a lie, and we see the lie, whether or not it's makeup, whether or not it's extensions, whether or not it's filters, whether or not it's BBL or if it's lips, whatever it is. Like, men see the lie, and end of the day is, most men aren't going to tackle you over it. They're not going to say, oh, I want my woman natural, because all we get hit with, oh, stop speaking on women's beauty, stop speaking on women's hair, oh, you're misogynistic, all these types of things, when simply most men, they're just gonna do whatever they got to do to have sex, right? But if they had the
truth, once the male attains puberty, anywhere between 12 to 14 years old, with an average of 13. From that point forward, the main function and desire of the male is to have intercourse, coitus, sex, smash, whatever you want to call it, with a female. That's what they want to do. That's all they want to do. And they will scheme and connive and plan to get it. Some are forthright, some are sneaky. Some are brazen, some are shy. But the end goal is the universal, and it's all the same. With the caveat that if a man is gay, then he wants another man. Or another gay man, to be precise. But it's universal. Men want to sow their seeds. They want to impregnate as many females as possible with the end goal of having their offspring go forth and repeat the process, the males. That's what they want. That's all they want. And to China's point, we see the lie. We will never call out the lie. And I'll get to that reason why that is in a minute. But we see the lie. Filters, makeup, eyeliner, eyelashes, lipstick. Now that's just in the face. We won't talk about wonder bras that boost the that boost the women's breasts. Augmentation that'll lift a butt, pronounce a butt, enlarge a butt, whatever. Heels to make them appear taller. All of it, at its core, is a lie. And why do they do it? To make myself look better. Bull. You're doing it to attract the man. And I say that because when you catch a woman at home, she be in the sweats, she be in a jogger, hair's all done up, no makeup, no nothing. And more to the point, like I was saying before, when you wake up, when a woman wakes up, steps out the shower, she's natural. And that is hardly ever what she looks like when she goes out the night before. So women, and it's funny because women will say, oh, that's not me trapping you. I'm doing that for me. I'm doing that for the girls. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not doing it for the girls. Now, are there some women that do that for themselves? Yes. Yes, there are. But they are the exception, not the rule. So therefore, we discount them. Not because they don't matter, but simply because they're not represented, because they're not liar. They're an exception to the rule. And as such, they don't count toward the greater statistics. But let's hear some more.
Option, they will take you natural every single time. They want to know what the woman that they go to bed with in the night is the same woman that they wake up with in the morning. They want to know that these genetics that they see in you are actually going to be the ones that get passed on to their child. And it doesn't come from a thing where it's like, oh, I want my daughter to have this type of hair, or I want my son. No, it's just like, end of the day is, I want to know that you're not bald under your head, and you might, and being bald, there's nothing wrong with it.
I've got alopecia.
No, exactly, but there's nothing wrong with it. But I still want to know that. I don't want to then just one day when you're in the home, when it just flies off and I see bald patches. No, let me see you with bald patches and take you for what you are.
As I said,
There's so much that you could take from this man. And I will applaud him. And the reason why I will applaud him is because he's speaking gems that are going to go over women's heads. Be yourself and let the man decide. If you are what you say you are, then you're in like Flynn. If you are what you say you are, if you're the person you purport to be, both inside and outside, then you're not going to be able to beat men wealthy with a stick. Everybody wants to be. And that goes back to other things that have been said in this podcast and other podcasts, is that women are inherently, when they come to the table, they don't have to bring anything because they are the table in that sense. When women come to the table with their beauty, that's 9/10 of the battle won. Off rip. That is 9/10 of the battle won. They have effectively won the fight. And I can say that because, as been pointed out in another podcast, when you're going out in the night, why are women allowed in free and men have to pay? Back in the day, we used to go to this club called Jimmy Reed's in New Jersey. And every Wednesday night, they had ladies' night. Ladies got in about between 8 and 9. Men were letting in between 10 and 11. Women got in free. When the men got in, we had to pay. At the time, it was about $5. So it wasn't a big deal. But then again, why did we have to pay if the women got in free? You had to effectively pay to have a shot at talking to a woman in the club. I'll say that again. You had to pay for a fighting chance to talk to a woman in a club. That's why they did what they did. Now, they tried to entice it by having in male burlesque dancers and strippers so that it would arouse women so they'd be easier to deal with once the men got in. But that wasn't hardly the case. Because women knew before you even stepped into the joint what they wanted and were ready to deal with the people when they came in. And then that was a microcosm of the world because you had your 8s, 9s, and 10s. You had your 5, 6, and 7s, and your sub 5s. Where the 8s, 9s, and 10s would get all the attention, and the sub 5s would get none. And that sliding scale is subjective because, like I said before, one woman's 10, maybe another woman's 5, maybe a third woman's 2. Depending upon how honest the woman is with herself and the people around her dealing with the men that she's dealing with. And even that's being thrown off because a woman who is a 3 will get smashed. Her mating opportunities are low, but she will have sex. Why? Because men want to smash. Men will smash a hole in the wall with no idea what's on the other side if the opportunity presents themselves. Like I said, third base song, The Cactus. MC Search talks about being alone on a desert island with a 300-pound white girl. No one to see this. Boom, I dropped my fluid like a chemist. Keywords, no one to see this. So she's not going around the boys, let alone the parents, let alone her friends or his friends. She's not going to meet anybody But she'll always be around for the booty call. And because the woman craves the attention and loving the attention, she'll go with it for a while. Now there'll come a point where she'll be like, wait a minute, you taking me, you're hitting it all over the place, but I'm never going out with you. Why can't people see me with you? The honest answer should be, because I don't like it like that. I was bored and you were there. But no. Because the man knows that the woman will cut him off, cut off his access. So he'll lie. Oh, it is what it is. And I don't know. Let's get back to the video and let's see what else has to be said.
And did you see that? Everybody thought it was real, but it's actually the couple and the comedian and comedian, and they're together, and they done this. Everybody thought it was real, but it was. The woman was in front and she was dancing. The man come behind and she had like a long ponytail and he wrapped his hand around it.
Oh, right.
And it, did you see it?
Yeah.
Everybody thought it was real, but they're actually together and they do comedy. And he just took her hair off. He just took her, and she was like, oh my gosh. But everybody's like, oh no, how can he do that? But it was actually a joke, but it can happen. Unless you spend an hour in the bathroom fixing her hair.
Or you have natural hair. It wouldn't happen if you had natural hair.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why I tend to date people with naturally long hair. That's just my preference. I like that. I like women with a minimum of shoulder length hair. A minimum. I prefer it down your back. But that's just me. There are guys who like that a woman with short cut. And I've seen women that are very attractive with short haircuts. So once again, it's fluid. That's my ideal. But if I'm dealing with somebody, if I'm at a club or I'm out somewhere and I see a woman with short hair and I find her attractive, I'll talk to her. Sure. If things go well in that alternate world, I'll wife her up. She doesn't have the hair that I want. But there are other things that she brings to the table that I find attractive. And I will deal with her accordingly. Because I've also met some women with long flowing locks that have the personality of a pit bull. Or women with shoulder length hair that have the personality of a dead gnat. Now, will I sex them? In an ideal world, I'm single? Absolutely. Make no bones about it. You're going downtown. And I'm going to take you there. In the morning, thank you very much for the evening. Have a good life. Go on. Or I probably do it the way most guys do it, is that you make your leave, you say your goodbyes, and you never call them again. Is that right? No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Is it fair? Is it just? Again, no. No, it's not. Yet it is what it is. It is a cold, hard truth to the dating world. Which is why, personally, if I get ghosted like that, it'll bother me for a little bit. But before you know it, I'm back on my feet. I'm back out at it again. Because I understand it's a part of the game. And dating is a game. It's a game with real life consequences. It's a game with real world effects. But nonetheless, it is a game. Life is a game. Whether you believe it or not, whether you choose to play it or not, life is a game. Dating is a game, whether you want to play it or not. It is a game that is played by everybody with the end goal of finding a mate. How you find that mate can go a myriad of directions and a myriad of methods and everything else. But the end result is still the same. You want to be paired, preferably with the person you're dating. Things can go left. Things often do go left. And you find yourself on the outside looking in. At which time you dust yourself off, you get up, you brush the dirt off, and you're back in it again. I can't tell you how many times I had to dust myself up before I met my wife. How many people I went through. Each time with the end goal of finding a mate, because I never dated just to be dating. I always dated with a purpose. I dated with the end goal of finding a mate. That's why I dated. I dated because I was looking for a life partner. Which made things more difficult than I thought at the time, because I'm looking for a specific. There are plenty of women out there who would smash with me. But not so many that would want a wife, that want me let me wife them up. That'll change when I found my missus. I found out that there was more people that would be willing to wife me up. But then I found out the reason why that was because of pre-selection. If I chose her and then chose another, I could take care of both of them. Hardwired into genetic makeup. Again, it is what it is. It's not right, it isn't fair, it isn't kind, it isn't just. It isn't recommended. And it sure as hell isn't preferred. But again, it is what it is. What say you, Auntie Jenny?
One point I was going to make is some men may like, if women do the BBL, plastic surgery, whatever it is, as long as it may look good, but it's not a main factor determining whether the man would marry the woman or take her seriously or not.
Again, spot on. Abso-freaking-lutely. It's something that was said, and I'm going to adopt it because I love the way it was said, was that women have their friend zones. Men have their sex zones. Every woman that comes into a man's life gets put in the, we meet him, we talk to him. If we like them, we'll move them towards the relationship zone. But by default, they fall into the sex zone. And that's where women get it twisted. Because women feel, oh, he's sexing me, he must like me. No, 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 no. But no. Hear me out. men by default want to sex a woman because it's hardwired into us. Again, we would sex a hole in the wall, not knowing what's on the other side, if the opportunity was to present itself. Simple statement. Hard to digest for some people, for most people, I'll say. But it's the truth. Also, has been said on a previous podcast, or on other people's podcasts, I should say, that I'm also going to adapt to mine, is men view sex like piss. You got to go, oh, thank you. Okay, next. It doesn't take much for a man to have sex. Again, I was horny, she was there. And she's better than my hand. For those who indulge in masturbation. That's simple. I was horny, she was there, and she's better than my hand. And there are people who will fight you over that truth. Why? Because it doesn't pertain to me. It doesn't pertain to you because you don't want it to pertain to you. But if you actually shut your mouth, took a step back and looked at the entire situation, you see that yeah, it kind of does. Again, is it right? Nope. Is it fair? Nah. Is it just? Of course not. But again, it is what it is. And don't even get me started about being honest and upfront with women, because as Myron Gaines on Fresh and Fit often says, is that we can't be honest with women, because if we do, we get denied access. So we lie. Every heterosexual male will cheat if the opportunity presents itself. Because, as I often say, men are as faithful as their options. Shout out to Chris Rock. We're not superheroes. We're not metahumans. We're not saints. We're people. And we're people that make mistakes. Some of us make more mistakes than is necessary. Some of us make more mistakes than normal, and some of us make mistakes because we never learn. Insanity is the action of doing the same thing over and over again, each time looking for a different result. That is the textbook definition of insanity. If a man cheats on a woman and she leaves him, and she goes to the next man, and he goes to the next woman, cheats on her and leaves her. After a while, it should become apparent to the person that cheating isn't on. And yet there are some people who keep going saying, I lost her, but I'll get another one. And I won't change anything. And things will be better. No, they won't. At all. Next.
It's not main fact. I just wanted to.
I would like to know how many men get asked. Because back in the day, if you had a woman with like a soft, like a really tiny chest, you might say to a man, "Oh, I feel insecure about my chest," and the man might pay for it to go and get it done because that is something different. You won't notice it. I'm not going to say like go from like nothing to like a triple D or whatever. But sometimes women just want breasts, but there's a limit. So I don't really think that most of those women that get it done, they get it done for men.
They don't. It's narcissism, let's be honest. Because a man will say that they don't like it, but they'll still go ahead and do it. So it's for you only. Narcissism.
Now, women, they don't. Okay, so they do it. They don't do it for men, but they also do it for men. So let me explain what I mean, right?
Because they don't know what men want.
So, if they were really doing it for men, then you wouldn't put these things on your lips. You wouldn't put these things in your bum. You wouldn't be wearing all this makeup. You wouldn't be having these eyelashes on your eyes that make you look like a woolly mammoth. Like you wouldn't do these things because we don't want these things. We don't find this attractive, right? So you do this because this aesthetic that you're trying to keep up with is an aesthetic that other women, is a beauty aesthetic that women have set, right? So you're competing with other women for this look because whenever we speak on it, we get told you shouldn't be speaking on these issues because these are women stuff. So in regards to women changing their body and doing BBL and putting stuff in their bum, like who says I'm actually going to do that for confidence? That's not for confidence. That's a sexual thing that you're doing. And
Again, spot on. And that's the best analogy and the best explanation of the topic that I've heard to date. Women do those glam things for competition. And the end result of that competition is to score a man. Because somewhere, some chick saw some woman do it and say, wait a minute. She's getting men. So I'm going to do it. And she did it. And another woman said, wait a minute. They're doing it. And they're scoring. So I'm going to do it. And it's cascaded. It just grew. She got a whole bunch of women glamming themselves up, dolling themselves up, in direct competition with other women with the prize of getting a man. And on the other side, men don't care. Men prefer natural. Men deserve natural beauty. They desire natural beauty. They will seek out natural beauty. Now, because they want to smash, they'll take a dolled up woman. But again, that's the smash. That's wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And that's all it is. Anything else that a guy will tell a girl regarding that is a lie. And it's a lie because he wants to smash her and he doesn't think she can handle the truth. Can some women handle that truth? Yes. But most women can't. They prefer to be lied to. Oh yes, you're the best thing since sliced bread. Oh, I love you, 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 I love you. And they throw that word around till it loses all meaning. Love isn't a thing anymore. If I'm asked to describe what love is today, I don't know where to start. I can tell you what it used to be. I can tell you what it should be. But I couldn't tell you what it is. Because I don't know. And that's sad. Because I don't know. I should know. I used to know. I know from what my parents taught me. I know from what the friends around me at the time used to say. We had a club back in high school. We called ourselves the Gentlemen's Club. We were the last of the true gents. Chivalry was very much alive with me and my friends. Come to school in 2- and 3-piece suits. Hold the door for women. Pull out a chair before they sat down. Light the cigarette if they smoked. All those things we used to do until one by one we all found out that women didn't appreciate it. And they didn't, and they don't, and they sure don't now. Now it's probably considered weak. Oh, he's holding the door for me. I can hold the door for myself. What do I need him for? Oh, he's pulling out a chair. What is he, misogynistic? What do you think? I can't pull my own chair out? No, that's not it. Guys do these things because it is what used to be expected of them. Now, not so much. I also go as far as to say, now, not at all. So, I don't. I miss those days when I used to do it. But it's not required anymore. It's superfluous to my daily existence. So I don't engage in it. I don't do it. But, again, I have drifted way, way off topic. Because, as I said before, while having these reaction videos and the other things, these thoughts fly into my head, and I have to speak about them and expand upon them. But I will bring it back, and now I'm bringing it back. Let's bring it back to the topic at hand.
They always, whether or not they want to admit it or not, that comes back to something that you're trying to sell towards men, and also in competition with women. So they do it for women to be in competition because every woman wants to be the baddest thing when they walk in the room, and depending on what's been sold in the media from people wanting flat bums before, does my bum look bigger than this? They didn't want that, to now they want the biggest bum. It's just an aesthetic that's been sold.
Can I just say something? Somebody's come here. It's Dr. Dante Van Matamoch. He said, I disagree, Auntie. How you got a man who accepts you like that but need it? There's an exception to every rule. I've got a friend and she was very flat chested and then she got breast cancer. Yeah, she needed to go and get cosmetic surgery. But she didn't go and get, I think she's like a 36B. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, a man will accept a woman, but if it's really affecting her, like medically, then he will agree for her to go and get plastic surgery. Like if you got a woman and, I was going to say she got a Jewish nose, but that's bad against a Jewish nose.
Yeah.
If she's got like a, I was going to say Jimmy O, but am I going to get upset for Jimmy O? What do you say when you got a big nose?
Yeah,
Right, everyone's got a big old conch, right? And sometimes you just want to shave down a bit or get it done. Sometimes the man will know, I can't see past that nose, and I know it affects you. That's nothing. I'm not talking about something that, you know, you got women and they got, I knew people and they had massive, great big chests. And the men agreed for them to go and get it reduced because it was affecting their back. So sometimes plastic surgery is like medical. People don't look at it like that. And if a man agrees to it and it's a medical reason, or a man will agree to it mostly if it's a medical reason. That if you know that your missus had to have a breast taken off and she needed like breast implants, you would agree to that.
Yeah, facts.
If you know that she's got an abnormally large nose and it's not going to cause any distress to get it done, you'd agree to that. I've known women that they've got massive ears like an elephant and the man agrees to go and get it pinned back. That's different than getting a BBL and get... I remember, I'm not going to say that because I don't embarrass her. Went to a young woman's house close to my heart and she'd got upset with her man and she was crying. And I looked at her and I flipped. I said, he's punched in the mouth, and he tell me who he is. I want to fucking sort him out. And she was like, no, she's crying. Oh, I said, no, tell me straight. I know he's punched in the mouth. And then she started laughing. I said, there ain't nothing to laughing about. look at your face. I know he's punching her out. She goes, I've had my lips done. I've had my lips done.
What?
Yeah.
What?
She had her lips-
No.
Seriously.
I didn't see
and
that
she
part.
just killed herself laughing. And I thought myself, and I was going mad because I could see that, you know, because when women cry, their face swelled, there was tears and snot. But all I knew is that her lips were swollen. And I thought he smacked her in the mouth. You know, and then I'm going on and she's there crying. I'm like, no, tell me, I'm going to go and get him. You know, I know he's not supposed to hit with me. He smacks you in the mouth. And then she started laughing. I think, you're sick. What are you laughing about? And then eventually she came out with it that she had, and I thought, why?
She had like 1.5 million there.
I don't know what she had, but her lips just looked like a whole, like, swarm of bees had landed on her lips. You know,
That's the that is one of those things that came about in the late 90s, early 2000s. That was highlighted by people like Kim Kardashian. And to make things more interesting, that was a black look. The big full lips. I remember back in the day, people used to make fun of big full lips. And everybody else wants to be there. Everybody's got to have them. But you thought it was funny. No, not at me. I never laughed at it. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Back to the video.
I've known people that they got no lip. Right? I'm not saying, I know people that they got no lip at all, and then they have to put like lipstick underneath there. So I know sometimes they go and get a little bit to enhance it, but not a bit. Oh my God. He's such a darling. Bless him.
What happened?
Just gave my first ever super chat.
I'm on.
Yeah. I just thought, who is that? I thought, who is that? And I looked down and I thought, see, that's why I love him. That's why every time he's warm in the winter, he's going to think about me. No, that's not nothing sick. It's because I recommended a really good coat. No, that doesn't feel like nothing like sick. Yeah, but I just think that women just go out there, because when she had her lips done, I just thought to myself, no, something's wrong. Something's wrong. You know, and just for the fact that she had her lips done, I thought, he don't really care. He's dumped you when you got your lips done. He would have dumped you if you didn't get your lips done. So why go and get your lips done and put yourself through all of that? And then you have to keep on getting them done. But let me see what the people are saying. Nah.
Okay, we're going to go ahead a bit. Now, I've seen up to that point. From here on in, it's going to be real time, first time. As you're seeing it, I'm seeing it. And we're going to look at it, and we're going to react to it. Okay, let's get back to it. Here we go.
Alpha man. You're all saying that, oh yeah, I used to watch Kevin Samuels. Did he say that Alpha man's got anything to do
We're
with
not talking
money?
about alpha though.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that choose carefully.
Yeah.
Don't settle.
Okay, Auntie, but you can't
So
say.
let the young lady talk. Hang on, son.
Yeah, and you talk about all these standards, but you could be living with someone for so many years and still not agree on a certain things and not know a lot about them. Like, someone could just pretend to be something, and you could spend all these years with them, and then you finally find out that this is not what you were looking for, this is not what you've been with.
Okay, so they're two.
How do you know that standards are?
So there's two things here.
there
There's two
for
things
real?
here. Yeah. There's no point saying to men to have full. That guy, he was making up. He was making up just things that you're never gonna find in a woman. So he's gonna put blocks in it. I'm gonna be realistic to men.
What was never
No,
gonna
you're
find
right.
in a
I
woman?
agree with you on
He was
that,
talking about I
because-
want a woman that's
Like
ethical values.
Yeah,
What?
how do you know that? Exactly.
on.
Why not?
No,
but how do
But
you
you're
know
right,
that?
Because getting to know somebody, you can't come in my house. Let me tell you something about ethical values, right? You can't come in my house and tell me you ain't gonna recycle. Get the fuck out. You know what I mean? You gotta put the recycle. I'm particular like that. I'm fussy about that. You
that's
can't
the-
come and say that you're not going to separate the food into the
Okay.
food value, that you're not be careful what you watch, that you're not going to certain brands. And you know, as black people, there's certain brands that you would not go out and buy. And I'm learning more about these brands. Do you know what I mean? And so ethical values, that's important to him. So if it's important, like to me, right, then let me say about one of the values. One thing is that's really particular to me is table manners.
Yeah.
I went on a cruise and I dumped a man on table manners. The third day into the cruise, I dumped him because he ate like a pig.
He spoke about being an adult. Like,
You know what I mean?
who goes for a woman that's not an adult? So, like, so
A
the
lot of
thing,
men do because they think it's
No,
cute.
but once
But
again,
those are basic etiquette.
exactly. So what I'm saying to you is, let me know the type of man he is. If everything he was asking for was
He was
sub-basic.
better off with the 25-year-old marriage, whatever he had.
Yeah.
So basically, he's about to go out into the single marketplace and look what he's asking for. And I'm like, are you okay? Like, in actual fact,
And I've got a man there like he's got a headache. Hello, sorry.
Hello.
Hello, what's your name and where you're from?
My name is Trevor. I live in Manchester.
I thought he was going to say Nigeria then. I really was hoping to get somebody called from Nigeria. Where's my people from Nigeria? Okay then. Hello, young man. What have you got to offer to the podcast?
Well, I've been following guys for ages. Especially Auntie, because I'm from Montserrat originally. And when you said you went to Montserrat.
Yeah, big up the Montserratians.
But yeah, in terms of like.
I was in Manchester today, actually. Yesterday.
Were you?
Yesterday. I was in Manchester yesterday.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah. Dropped
Yeah.
off some food.
My mum's from there.
In terms of like, listening to all you guys over the past. Because like when I
Going in and
love
out.
it, so.
Do you know
When I'm
something? Sorry
driving-
to cut you there, but you know your voice is going and coming. I don't know whether it's the signal or whatever, but it's going and coming.
Is it?
Yeah.
If you
What
have
does he need to do, bless him?
If you have a filter on, if you can turn it off on your mic.
No, I don't have.
You just done something. What did you just do? You just done it, innit? You trying to look sexy with the filter? Is that what you're trying to do?
I ain't got no filter.
Okay.
No, I've been guys for a long time. Because I drive lorries, so I've been unlisted. And I've realized, like, you know, in relationships nowadays, like, especially with women nowadays, like, the older they get, because I'm talking for the older they get, they realize that they got a lot of stipulations. Because I'm thinking, when I was in my 20s, I didn't have all this, you know, crazy demand.
We have to stop that because his audio quality is poor. And I'm missing a lot of what he's talking about. It's kind of like walking in on a conversation and you hear bits and pieces of the conversation. And it serves no main purpose because you don't want to just start talking about it at all because you're like, I could be wrong. So then you just don't say anything about it. So we're going to go past him. And we're going to try this next one coming up right here.
Me down.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
We're going to
watched you
keep
guys
it
for a
short
while.
and sweet. So tell me who you are, where you come from, and what you got to add to the podcast. Whether it's
Okay,
a
my
question
name's
or a
Winston.
comment.
Southeast London.
Yeah.
Just want to shout out my boy China.
Okay.
Love all the stuff that you bring out.
Yo.
But listen, right, this ain't China's show, you know. This is my show. I'm just letting you know. This is my show. I've allowed them all to promote, so not coming here about big up China. It's like big up Auntie Jenny. It's my birthday. It's not China's show.
Wow.
It is my show. Right? He didn't even know he was
Auntie
coming
Jenny.
here. Right, so let's start.
What brings us
Hang on a
here?
minute. Let's rewind and start again. Start again, young
Big
man.
yourself up, Auntie Jenny.
Thank you.
So one thing I wanted to bring. So on the podcast before, you said, you had free tickets. If your man told you you can't go, would you question him? Now, you said you wouldn't question him.
Mm-hmm.
And the other two, Mathin, Esther and Dinava, wanted to question their man.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to point out that you were completely correct, because did you see what happened to O2 Brixton a couple of weeks ago?
Wake it up.
Yeah.
Wake it
And
up.
do you know something,
So-
right? Do you know something, right?
That in
I
itself-
got cussed off. Sorry to cut you, but I got cussed off for that. So, oh yeah, she's on the guy. I said it was our artist. I had 2 tickets. The tickets were for us. I ain't got no girlfriends that I go out with clubbing. I dropped them when I was younger. I don't go out. No, I can't think of any person that I was like, oh yeah, I want to go clubbing. I can't think of any club that I don't want to go to. But his name is Mo the Mischief. But it seems pure nastiness actually. About head down, arse up. Got promoted because he's my boy. But yeah, he does a lot of nasty songs, and that's why me and my man like him. But he was right. Well, yeah, you got to check him. Mo the Mischief. And he's got a song called Head Down. I know it's got, but all these songs.
No, I was more the one you said. That's why me and my man like him. I'm like, is that? Well, you,
Yeah, because it's pure nastiness.
Is that what you? What?
Yeah. He's soca. Listen, right. I tell you what. He's from Barbados. He's young, and the thing what I like about him and his woman been together, and they've been through a lot, and they got a lovely baby girl. And when he goes on the stage, right, and all them girls come on in, they skin out. He would dance to them. You know what? He would dance to them because that's his job when he's on stage. He goes on to his woman. He's happy. So when they're saying about, oh yeah, I had somebody saying, oh yeah, she know what she's going back there for because she wants to go backstage. But you know what? I'm the OG. I always go backstage. I don't stand out in the front because I used to drive soca artists and I used to promote a soca DJ. So as far as I'm concerned, I ain't going back. I ain't going out there in the crowd. Well, am I going to go in the crowd and get squashed? Oh, look how little bit I am. I'm going to go backstage. So when all the women that they're trying to slag me, saying, "Oh yeah, she know what she's going backstage for. She's going for the." I want to find out what was it Glock 3000 is.
What?
I don't hear about that.
What? No, you don't. What?
I don't know what it is.
Oh man. And for those not in the know, the Glock 3000 is a lovely way of saying you give head. That's it. And she's saying that she didn't even know what it was, you know. And it's funny. It's funny. It's hilarious is what it is.
That's the.
You still don't know what it is?
I got a clue what it is.
Yeah, don't say that again. I'll tell you later. Yeah. I'll tell you later.
I don't know what it is.
No, the go.
But anyway, sorry to cut you, young man. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so respect to you for that because at the end of the day, people got deleted at a concert, so it kind of proves you right. If your man's got intuition, listen to it. And the other thing I wanted to shout you out for is that the 18-year-old girl, they said had 4 bodies. You said to her, don't get any more.
She still ain't bloody phone me. She's got my personal number. I gave it to her to say that if anybody out there's fucking her, you know, you got me on your case, right? Because she's got my number, and I was expecting to drive down just so that you know.
Yeah.
There was a young lady she'd slept with 4 men. She was 18, and I had to go at her, and I basically told the men, don't sleep with her. That I'm going to imprint my name on her fanny, so that. I gave her my number. I said, if you feel like having sex again, call me, and I will drive down from wherever I will cock block.
At the same time?
Yeah, I will stop her from having sex.
Four guys at the same time?
No,
her body count
But
is
when you think that the
Crazy.
legal age is 16, she's 18, she's had 4. So that's what he's talking. Because a lot of these, we're having like 2 different shows here all in once. Because I want to mix it because it's my birthday. I can do what the hell I like. I've earned the right when you get to this age. So I'm 55. So that's why I was telling her, like, no, you need to stop. You know, but I gave her my number because I got cussed off on a black podcast. They told me I was Pearl's puppet, and then I was taking money from black people and spending it on black people. They had a whole, and I find that the American people, they like got slavery minds. Do you know what I mean? It's always something back to slavery. Like,
I stopped the video there because what she said isn't wrong. There comes a time when you know what time it is. You know the time. We've had over 400 years of subjugation, of oppression, of slavery in one form or another that persists right up to now. right up to now. And there needs to come a time where you go, okay, I'm going to move forward. I'm not going to forget that. That's gonna be in the back. That's gonna be in my back pocket. I won't forget it. I'm just gonna move on. Which is goes to my favorite thing. I might forgive, but I'll never forget. Depending upon the situation and what's been done. I might forgive you, then again I might not. The joys of fatherhood. Anyways, yeah, I may forgive you. Then again, I might not. But I'll never, ever, ever forget it. And that's why so many people get shafted. And that's why Americans in particular get hoodwinked all the freaking time. Because, oh, let's just forgive and forget. No. Because if I forgot what you did, you will be you'll be ready to do it again. If I forget the outcome of what you did to me, who's to stop you from doing it again? What's to sway you or dissuade you from repeating the action that caused me harm? Because if you're like most people, you do something until it doesn't work anymore, especially if it comes out to your benefit. Be that as it may, you were saying, Auntie Jenny?
Black this, black that, black whatever. And the American people cuss me off for that. I didn't do it with love. I didn't do this. I tell you to shut your legs and shut up while I'm talking. That's a love. Do you know what I mean? That's tough love. And she hasn't phoned me. I don't know where you are, young. Like, you need to phone me. Anybody knows where she is, but contact me. Tell me where she is, because she needs to phone me. I gave her my number, my personal number, that only China got the other day. Yeah. And look how long that podcast was. I gave her my number. And I hope she's not having no more sex, because she didn't phone me.
Auntie, I'll be honest, she's on her fifth body, that's why she hasn't called you.
She's already falling. She's already falling in her hurdles.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
So guys, I just want to say, just thank you. I want to keep it short and sweet.
Thank you very much for doing that.
Big yourself up.
Thank you.
Happy
Don't
birthday.
say nothing about China. Thank you. Happy birthday.
No, I said big yourself all up, okay? I love you guys leaving. Get to some other calls, but just thank you for everything, okay, guys?
Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Next caller's coming.
This one's in the dog.
This is my friend. This is my Nigerian friend. This is the one that Esther upset. This man, he's so calm, right? But he started cussing on my Instagram. He was just saying, I'm fucking angry. She's upset Nigeria. What the fuck is this? Hello.
Auntie Jenny, happy birthday.
Thank you. Keep it short and sweet. You know how it is. Tell us what you got to say about the podcast. No, I don't want you to tell us what he's got to say about the podcast. I want you to tell me, from a Nigerian in Nigeria, how the temperature is about your African queen.
It was not nice at all.
He's putting it nice. That's what he put on my IG. He was cussing stink on my IG.
It was, I was devastated. I was disappointed. Like, as a Nigerian watching that, I was like, how can you go on a national TV or YouTube channel as big as Pearl's own, and you are saying things without thinking? Like, at least have some thought. think before you speak. Like, it was so disgusting. It was.
Okay. This goes back to the beginning of the podcast where Auntie Jenny was going in on Esther. And I'm going to have to do a part 2 on this because I want to show you guys the videos in question where she was talking what she was talking and then dissecting it and everything else. But she was saying, because she was saying at the time that for her, the people in Nigeria, what do they think? And she was saying that overwhelming majority of them didn't like it. And this one gentleman here is an actual Nigerian, and he's saying how much he didn't like what she was talking about. Because she's talking out the side of her neck. All the time. For God knows what reason. She's just talking to be talking. No rhyme, no reason. She doesn't stick the landing. She doesn't even attempt to land the plane in most cases. And then in that case, she has trouble taking off. All these things that she doesn't do. All these things that she won't do. She's getting called out and dragged all over the carpet for it. And this is one person from Nigeria who's doing that. And let's see what else he has to say.
He's really, the man's upset, you know. Look at him. He is so upset. He's been upset from the time it went out. He's been cussing.
Like, it was so annoying. As a Nigerian watching, because people have a bad stereotype about us. They feel we are uneducated, we are scammers and everything. And you had an opportunity to represent us well.
I like this guy.
It was big up China.
That's my buddy.
Is he okay to pick me up this time?
He's one of mine. I know him. He's one of mine.
I didn't know that guy.
Yeah, he belongs to me.
Okay,
he's one of mine.
I follow you, China. China, I follow you.
Thank you, my.
Me, Auntie Olawale.
But hang on a minute.
I wanted to.
You know it's my birthday, innit? You know it's my day, innit? Right? So let's cut the crap, right? Yeah, sorry. Right. We're talking about Nigeria now. Now China's here. Well done, China. Big man, China. Big man, them China. Now, back to Auntie Jenny, right? But no, I just wanted to know what the people were saying about, because I knew that the Nigerian people were angry.
Everybody.
We got a Nigerian here, and he was angry too.
Disgraceful.
Every Nigerian that watched that program was angry because looking at Esther, we were like, at least represent us well.
Hang on a minute.
Respect your elders.
Listen, is it possible? I know that I'm always working you out. Is it possible to get the clip of when Esther introduced herself and looked at me and then the reaction after that? Is it possible? I can make it earn his money, you know. He made me miss my first podcast. Yeah, well, because I'd like these the young lady especially because she hasn't seen it. I'd like her to see.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So yeah, carry on.
So it was annoying because today it was going viral. It was the video was going viral on Nigerian Twitter.
I didn't know there was such a thing, you know. And the fact that
you see the reaction. Nobody could say, like, even women. You know the funniest part is, if it were men that were just bashing her and saying that she was wrong, okay, we will say that it's biased. But women, Nigerian women, like, why can't you just represent us well? It was so frustrating.
He's still in shock, you know. And he's normally really calm and quiet. I never heard the man cuss so much.
No, it's funny. Actually, don't let me continue like that. We'll talk on Instagram.
All right then. Thanks for the birthday greetings.
Yeah, that's it.
All right then. Bye. Hello.
Hello, Aunt Jenny.
I thought it was Will.i.am then, you know. I had to look. Where's my glasses? Hi.
Hi, big fan. I want to say I'm so happy to see that you guys.
Hang on a minute. Oh, am I saying that again? I want to hear your name and where you're from.
Oh, for sure, for sure. My name is BK. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay. It's just nice to know where people are in the world because you think, wow, over there. What have you got to add? You got 2 minutes, max.
Thank you. No, I was wanted to comment on the last little bit when you guys were talking to Andrew Tate about what men and women need to learn. I think you guys were hitting the spot on, but kind of missed it just a little.
Mm-hmm.
I think the main thing that people in general need to learn is willingness to change. You know, willingness to be different, willingness to not be the same person you are right now.
She's going to interview quite a few other people. And once again, this is about almost pretty much 4 hours worth of content. And once again, as I say, of all Just Pearly Things content, you need to watch it. Especially stuff with Auntie Jenny. Because she is like your like an aunt, in the sense where she's going to tell you the way it is. She calls it where she sees it. Straight down the middle, no chaser. If you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And she'll tell you that. And she'll tell you why. So it's definitely something worth watching. And oh, good grief. We're gonna call it for today. We're gonna end the show because I have to deal with a situation that's come up before I'm spammed out of existence by this person. So, with that being said, remember to move in fives. Like, quickest, most important metric. Comment. Good, bad, or indifferent, we want to hear about it. Subscribe. Get in on the know about different things going on in the podcast. Notify. Be one of the first to know when we get new content up. And 5, share. Let other people in your circle and beyond know that we exist. Those 5 things will help grow the channel and help us to achieve our goal of world domination. Okay. Be that as it may, please also consider donations. The links in the description below. If you really want to rock with it and you want to support us, every little bit helps. $1 helps at this rate. And it'll help us with different upgrades and things that we want and we need to make this a better experience, to give you a better experience. So please, 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 please consider donations. So until the next, this is your humble, gracious host, OBJ, saying peace to you all. Take care of yourselves and enjoy the rest of your day.